Hello and welcome to Queenie's Card of the Week. Decided to stand today on your various social media platforms, but initially on TikTok. So the card this week is the Oakman. Now, when I get this card, I always talk about trusting your inner wisdom. But I forget sometimes to talk about how important depth, as in the depth of the roots of the tree and the grounding and the kind of nearly eternal nature of the oak tree and how big they can get. And yeah, maybe they're not a sequoia. Maybe they're not a redwood. Maybe they're not, what are they? There's these trees up in the Sierras that are really old and really gnarled and amazing. They're like these prehistoric beings. And it's not a banyan tree, which is sending out healing to the banyan tree in Maui, to the roots. May they stay strong. May it experience renewed growth and rebirth when it's ready. Anyway, so back to the Oakman. The Oakman is about your own innate wisdom and your depth. So what this tells me is that this week is not, even though the month is kind of about lightening up a little bit, and but it's also about connecting with your natural magic. This week is about acknowledging the depth there. So you can lighten up and be playful about something. You can be both playful and deep at the same time. I think that we get kind of bunched up in our heads about thinking that deep is always serious, but it is not. We think that deep has to be serious, but it does not. So there is a really an incredible depth, or a exponentially deeper depth that you can get by the playfulness. Why do you think that we love comedians and storytellers that tell these practically horrifying stories, but we find ourselves laughing? How do we get through trauma in our lives without having to kind of access this dark, kind of morbid sense of humor about things, and how much more intelligence there is to people, like the self-awareness and intelligence there is to people who can access that playfulness within the depth of things. Even in the depth of things, it's almost like that playfulness and that lightness shines a flashlight down into the bottom of the well. Because when we can laugh during those times, even if it's just, I'm just so exhausted, I have to laugh right now at the ridiculousness or whatever, we know we can survive. If we can laugh, we know we can get through. We know that there's hope. How about that? Where there's laughter, there's hope. This is going to be longer. Sorry. I helped somebody with anyway, I got interviewed for a book about how laughter heals things. And part of it was a premise that I used to do stand-up comedy in the late 90s, and I did some storytelling and stuff. I did some over the years in the 2000s, but mostly it was the late 90s that I was regularly doing stand-up comedy. And part of why I got into that was because the darkness, the way that I survived the darkness was finding the funny in it. So it is possible that this week, and it feels very accurate, that this week with the old Oakman, by the way, somebody brought me my water. Isn't that nice? It's good to have daughters. When you leave your water somewhere. Anyway, so we have the Oakmen, and they are, I think this week, along with accessing our wisdom, They are letting us know that you can still be playful and go deep at the same time. That depth has nothing to do with seriousness. It just is. And that we have more depth than we think. Yeah, the humor that's easy is the surface humor. It's the simple stuff. And that can be really, really funny and really healing too. But some of the best humor comes from the depths of another human being and some observation or thought about things, or some automatic kind of, automatic observation that just blurts out of them, and it lightens the air and it lightens the mood, and it's like a pressure valve on the top of a pressure cooker. It releases some of the pressure. So this week, release some of the pressure. Stop, step back, get out into nature. Ask an oak tree, like, how can I lighten this up? Show me. Ask yourself, show me the hope here. Step outside, look out the window, experience nature like I was talking about with the card of the month, and see where there is hope, because where there is laughter, there is hope. I'm not talking about laughter mocking. I'm talking about the humor that comes from how life is beautiful and tragic and ridiculous and delicious and juicy and amazing and hopeful, and we are all of that. And the Oakmen experience all of that with their roots deep, 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 deep into the earth. This week, go a little deep. Sorry it took so long. I love you guys. I hope you have a beautiful week. And let me know in the comments if you think standing up or sitting down is better. I'm just curious. I'm testing us out, See you guys later. Bye.